in the Americas throughout my lifetime. And this one actually is a little bit different. So the nice thing is that it's close by. You don't have to fly anywhere or drive a ridiculous amount of time to go and be somewhere else. It's basically right here at home. Again, 3 hours north. It's a baby drive. You can do it in your sleep. Not literally. Please don't sleep while you drive. But number one, the food is incredible. So they have, they follow a more traditional Indian style of yoga, and have like a person that they really connect to and that their whole facility is based around. But the thing is, having this more traditional like attachment to yoga means that they have also brought some really incredible recipes with them. So number one, food is amazing. Number two, getting to learn about that more traditional style of yoga means that we actually do a handful of workshops with them and people who live and also teach for their institute, which is really cool because we do one particular style of yoga and our style is a little bit more modern. It's come from an amalgamation of different very ancient styles, and we can talk about how that looks and why we've created it this way. But it's nice to get to know and learn about the things that created it. So like the yoga past almost, or the more traditional lineage of yoga. So it's a really cool way to get to interact with that and kind of understand in a new way why we do the things that we do and why we take on these practices. So it's an interesting exploration of that, and I'd recommend it. If you're interested, we can chat after class, but this morning we're gonna move. So child's pose. As ever, toes together, knees out wide, fingertips all the way to the head of your mat. Let's take a nice long breath in and stretch your fingertips out as far as you can go. So you get this whole extra extension. In this new way, take a breath in, feeling all of that length, this new space that you've created for yourself. Pause and let the breath go. Create a settling. Inhale again, bringing new life to the pose, new space for expansion. Exhale and settle. One more time. Full breath in. Big breath out. On your next inhale, we're going to come up to downward facing dog. And from here, in down dog, let's go for some side body stretches. I love these in the morning. So right foot up into the air, kick that heel high. Also, good morning, Philomena. Okay, with your knee up super high, let's go bend the top knee and open up your hip. I'm going for full extension here. Melt those right pinky fingers into the mat and lift. See what new space that you can create. All right, now that we've got this here, let's take some hip circles. So move this right knee down out to the side and then back up. Nicely done. All the way around like you're warming up this whole side of your body. Part of integration is getting present, of course, to your hands, to your breath, but it can also be getting present to your body. All right, this foot down, and we'll switch sides. On your inhale, left leg up, bend the knee, side stretch. Oh, yes, just like that. I'm actually a little bit jealous of this stretch this morning. That looks amazing. Now let's go for the hip circles. Try to make it so that you're inhaling and bringing your leg up and exhaling, bringing it down to the side. Checking in that you're moving with your breath at every opportunity possible. That's a good job. One more time. All right, feet down. Let's take a breath in. Let it go. Just like that. One more. In and out. Walk your feet up to the head of your mat. Halfway lift when you get there. Deep breath in. Ragdoll on the exhale. Now you can choose to rock right to left here or just stay still. Plug your heels down into the mat And now create length by hugging your inner ankles back. This is going to feel like pulling backwards. Yep, just like that. And now hug your outer shins in. Good job. Press your heels down into the mat, and on your inhale, we'll roll all the way back up to standing. Take extended mountain, lifting up through your fingertips. Hands down to heart center. Set your intention for today. Choose an I am statement for yourself. Just one word. And we're going to ohm that into place. 3 ohms. Breath in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward facing dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. 3 breaths here. In. Let it go. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain. Inhale all the way up. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Start to create some length now, working with the foundation of the pose. Press your pointer finger into the mat so hard that your sits bones go up and back. This is it. One more time. In. Breath out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain, pressing through your heels. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Up dog, drishti. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Start to build the tapas and the heat in your body by using your breath in and out. One more time. Big breath. Let it go. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Last one. Up and back this time. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. See what you can feel about your body. What's real to you here today? Feel your toes press into the mat. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Press through your fingertips. Float. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Breath in. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Right side. Warrior 1. Inhale as you lift. Exhale right back down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Warrior 1. Inhale up. Exhale down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Just like that. You can take the sigh if you need to. But bring your attention into this pose. What is it going to take to create that intention in your body as a physical reality and not just as a concept. Press those fingertips down into your mat. On your breath out, feet to hands. Halfway lift, forward fold. Chair pose with intention. Fold. Halfway lift, chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, right side, warrior one. Breathe in all the way up. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left side, warrior one. Your intention right here. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Yes, take the breath in and this time sigh it out. Good job. In, sigh. Once more, inhale. Let that breath go. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair, pulling your shoulder blades together. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Right side, warrior one. Pressing through your big toe. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left side, warrior one. All the way up. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog when you get there. And into downward facing dog. Yes. Check out the aliveness of your body. Your breath, your heartbeat, all of the things that tune in and make you feel alive. Feel them right now, all the way down into your fingertips and your toes. Last breath in. Blow it out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair. Spread your fingers wide. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Press down through your pointer finger. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Right side. Warrior one. Low in the lunge. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left side. Warrior one. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Now, one of the things I love about practicing with you guys, let's bring your right leg up into the air, bend your knee and open up your hip, is that you're committed to feeling alive in your body. Really, that's what's it. When you come and practice here in the mornings, take flip dog. Yeah, because it's that feeling of aliveness. It's the one that prepares you for your day. So set your drishti here. And now feel the pose. Like from your toes all the way up to your hands. Can you feel how this is the aliveness of right now in your body? Flip it over. High plank. Side plank. Now we're going to take side plank a little bit differently today. We're going to take your right foot and now reach that up in front of you. It's going to come about halfway up your mat. Just realize that my friends at home can't see me, so your top foot. Oh yeah, Angela and Philomena, I'm going to have you switch this out. So right foot, is that your right side? Oh shit, it's your left side. I was wrong, you guys. It's your left foot. We're going to bring that halfway up your mat. There we go. And now all that you have to do here is press your hips towards the ceiling. We're just looking for this side stretch in your hip. So as you press your hips up, that's where you're going to get the opening. Good job. Now breathe. 2 breaths here to just feel the pulse. One more time. Lift those hips high and bring both of your hands back down to the mat. Thank God you guys pay attention. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. All right. Take your breath in and let it go. Let's switch sides. Left leg into the air. Or you know what? We're just going to say opposite leg this morning. Bend your knee. Open up your hip. We're going for all of the space that you can get here. Flip dog. Bring your breath to this pose, like you're trying to light it on fire. Realize that your breath is the whole pose. Like there is nothing else to do here but breathe. You have this. We're going to stay for just one more before we flip over, taking high plank to side plank. And this time, your top leg is going to come halfway out in front of you. Yes. If you want more stretch in this pose, if you're not getting enough fire in your hip, bring your right leg up higher towards your face. It's going to add more stretch, hips up high. How's that going for you there, Josh? Good stuff? All right, nice job, everybody. Last breath here for the full experience. Chaturanga. Minnie and David at home, I hope you got that one too. Let's go for upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side crescent lunge. Yes, take your crescent lunge, however you would like to do that. Feet wide, fingertips all the way up to the air. Now, you're going to come low into this lunge because we're actually looking for a hip flexor stretch today. So more than anything else in this pose, come down low enough that your back leg is stretching. Fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. This can be part of feeling alive in your body. Bring aliveness to this back leg. Press your back knee up towards the ceiling. Yep, good adjustments across the board here. Stay low into the pose. Sometimes it can feel messy to be alive. I think we all know that. So get a little bit lower. Yeah, like really see what's there at the edge of you for this pose. What could you stand to experience? Because let me tell you, there's something that you're losing by not letting yourself get into the edge, by not letting yourself live fully in this pose. Hands to heart center. Twist to the right. Now you get to choose hands closed or open them up, but I want to hear your breath. Each exhale is an opportunity to wring all of the air out and twist 1 inch deeper into this pose, whatever that means for you. 2 more breaths here. Yes, you have this, Angela. Good job. 1 more breath. And on your inhale, we'll rise up, take crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Sthira and Sukha here. Effort and ease. You've obviously got the effort. I think that all of us have figured out where the effort is. Now bring ease to your shoulders. You're still pressing your hands wide, but there's tension that you can drop right between your shoulder blades. It's not serving you in the pose, so let it go. Yeah, a sigh is always good to do that. Let's take extended side angle. Right hand down, left hand up to the ceiling. Press through your big toes into the mat. Now let's drop your top hand behind you. We can go either for a half or full bind here, but really just look to see if it helps you twist open this left shoulder any deeper. Let's stay. 1 more breath in. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Let it go. 1 more time. In. Out. Left side crescent lunge. Now I considered just doing the back knee drop down for this pose, but really the stretch that you can get in your hip can happen while the back knee is off the floor. So if you need a little bit more space to find that, I discovered that you can actually drop your hips about 4 inches lower than what you think they can go. So it's not just up here with your quad muscle facing down and out, but getting low so that your hamstring is doing work as well. From there, lift through your fingertips. If you've got your hamstring doing the work, your low belly is going to have to do a lot more work than usual. It's going to help you hold all the way up into this pulse. Yeah, I'm liking the fingertips interlaced today, so let's try that out. Just a little lace to help you reach all the way up. Then bring your hands to heart center. Left, twist to the left. 3 breaths here. Eyes open. Exhale, twist. 2 more times. That's all you got to do. Burning through it. Last one. Stay for your inhale. Stay for your exhale. Breathe in, rise up, crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Feel the tapas that you've created so far, the heat in your body. You can feel it in your chest, even in your belly, as it really rises here. Your breath is fanning the fire, stoking the flame. Extended side angle. Keep that breath even into this pose. Your fire breath. Ujjayi breath, victory breath right here. You have this. 2 more times. Last one. Chaturanga, bring it all the way down. Move through. Up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Take a breath in. Let it go. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Bring your hands to heart center. Twist right. Now, open your hands here. You can choose, if you've got a variation that you'd like to take on in this pose, you can go for it. We're going to drop this top hand back behind us. And instead, move your bottom hands between your legs. So you can either stay here like this, top hand creating a half wrap, bottom hand staying under here, or see if you can reach down lower to potentially interlace your fingertips in a full bind here in chair pose and a twist. That's a good job. You've stayed here for a while, so only one more breath. And on your inhale, rise up, take chair pose, inhale, fold. Feet out wide on the mat, pointer fingers wrapped around your toes, let your head drop down. Find your breath. You'd also find a little bit of sway here. But look to your intention. Check out, is there something stopping you in this practice this morning from reaching that intention, your goal that you set for yourself? If so, this is the moment. This next exhale right here is the time to let it go. Take your breath in, sigh it out. All that air out. One more time. Let it go. Chair. Round 2 with intention. This is the moment. Press your heels into the mat like you mean it. Bring both of your hands to heart center. Twist to the left. Now, open up your hands. It's one of the easier ways to get to this half or full bind. Your top hand wraps behind you. Bottom hand down between your legs. You can stay here or interlace your fingertips, going for the full bind. Now you've got 2 more breaths. Sticking low into this pose, top shoulder lifting up towards the ceiling. On your inhale, rise up, take chair pose. Fold. Feet out wide on the mat. Let's tuck palms underneath the toes and let your head hang down. Let yourself connect with your breath. Observing your inhales and exhales. Observing that the ways that your breath changes your body on the mat. Creates this experience of being alive. Let's go for goddess squat. So your feet are already pretty wide on the mat, so tiptoe them outwards. Toes turn to the outsides, hands to heart center. Check that you're rolling your shoulders backwards so that you open across your chest and your upper back. Let's drop our right hand down today. Pick the left hand up so that you're twisting open towards your left side. Or if I switch those up, you can twist towards whichever side your hand is up on. That's it. Press down through your palm into the mat so that you get the full extension. And then we'll switch sides. Opposite hand down, opposite hand up, twisting open towards the opposite side. Let yourself breathe. It's going to help the hips, especially when they're tight. Bring both of your hands down. We'll catch a quick crow pose. However you want to create it, crow, headstands or handstands are also appropriate. Ready, set, yogis, go. We're going to go for 5, 4, breathe, 3, 2, more breath, 1, chaturanga. I got to count faster if you guys are going to hold it. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Chair. Yes, I know we were just here in chair pose. For my yogis, chair, down 4 more inches. Sit low. Another 4, sit low. Sit low all the way down onto the mat. We're going to roll onto our spine. Eagle on your back. So we're going to wrap right arm under and right leg over. Just like that. I think that you all have done this particular pose with me before. So bring the energy to it. You know that as a balancing pose, this pose has to do with your core muscles. So press your feet together. Your thighs together. Philomena, you're actually going to press against me with this bottom foot. Yeah. Now bring the same energy to your legs. You want to press down through the top thigh just as hard as you're pulling up through the bottom thigh. That equal and opposite action is going to pull your belly button down towards the mat. On your inhale, switch sides. Left arm under, left leg over. Yes, that's it. Now press. Creating this hugging into center line. You can actually add it in your arms too. Elbows pressing down and up at the same time. This is it. Add a little bit more press for 1 more breath. On your inhale, go long, and we'll switch sides. Right arm under, right leg over top. I like doing the 2 sets here because we're going to add our little eagle crunches, which are my favorites. Slow and controlled. On your exhale, crunch elbows to knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Switch sides. Left arm, left leg, eagle on the opposite side. I know, lots of belly action. Flex your feet. Let's go. Yogi crunches. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extended mountain on your mat. So all the way down, legs reaching down, hands reaching up. Take whatever breath you need. And for my yogis at home, grab a strap or something that can act approximately like a strap. So this is going to mean a belt, a t-shirt, a towel, whatever it is. For my yogis in the studio, grab that strap and hug your right knee up into your chest. What's going to be important about these poses on the mat is hugging into your center line. So with your right knee up into your chest, check that both of your hips are laying flat on the mat. You want them to stay like this throughout the two poses, not letting your right hip lift up or your left hip, but both level. Wrap your strap around the ball mound of your big toes. From here, take both sides of your strap into your right hand. Now take your left hand, the free hand, and sit it onto your hip. This is going to help you just remember to keep this hip flat on the mat. On your exhale, flex your feet, let your leg drop out to the right. Only so far as you can keep this left hip anchored down. If the left hip starts to come up, bring your leg up a little bit further to center. You have to use your belly muscles to squeeze in here. Squeeze all the way. Flex those feet, hug into center line. On your inhale, bring your leg back up. Switch the strap into your right hands this time. Oh, same foot. Just strap into the right hand. And now let your leg fall over to the opposite side of your body. Left side, right? Yes. Yep, keeping your hip down on the mat. Here, look. Yeah, just a little bit of extension. Yes, sometimes that happens. Listen, if your leg's not going to move, that's not going to move. That's okay. So are you getting a stretch from this hip up to your heel? Then that's perfect. You're looking for a stretch all the way up the outside of your right leg. So, Amina, how's that going this morning? Good stuff. Breathe. The trick for any pose where your body's giving you a lot of feedback, here, Nancy, flex this bottom foot. And now hug into my foot. Good job. On your next inhale, bring the leg back up. And we'll switch sides. All right, remove the strap. Left knee comes into your chest. Left leg straight up towards the air. Yes, your right leg can go out long. So right leg long, left leg up this time. Yeah, extend that right leg the whole way. From here, hug into center as your leg moves out to the left this time. I know this is like very complicated, Simon says. Now hug through those belly muscles, hugging into my foot, hugging your leg up and in, even as it's opening to the side. You're creating strength, flexibility, and stability right here. Last breath, you have this, Connor. Inhale, bring the feet back up. Switch your strap into the opposite hand this time. And now let your leg fall to the opposite side of your body. Keep that same action going with your foot. Greg, you too, hug into center line. Pressing against as you create length. This is a Goldilocks and the Three Bears kind of pose. Shorten the strap to increase the heat. Lengthen the strap to decrease the heat. Are you ready? On your inhale, bring both legs back up. Get rid of the strap. Hug your knees into your chest. And let's rock and roll 3 times, all the way forwards, all the way backwards. On that 3rd time, let's come onto all 4s. Do you guys want to do half moon and dancer today, or just go for half moon? Half moon? Sweet. All right, so here's how we're doing half moon. Right forearm, it's going to come down onto the mat. This right foot acts as a kickstand as you lift up through your left arm and left leg. Now, this is a little tricky. I want you, as soon as you get here, to hug your low belly up and in. I know when you get into this version of this pose, immediately when you want to let your belly move out, Greg, I fell over in this pose a million times. I know. It's really challenging. It's shocking. One more, come back down. I still haven't tried the candy cane in this. Damn it. Let's go left side. So left hand down, left leg is a kickstand as you lift up to the right. Check it out. If you want to add a little extra spice to this, Josh actually goes for the candy cane here in this pose. I've never tried it myself, so I can't vouch for it, but he does it every single time. It looks kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie. It looks like a challenge. Josh, how's that going? Okay, I'm going to take your word for it and bring both feet down. Good job. You did too? All right. Yeah. Philomena, I got you. Thank you. I'll acknowledge you for that. We're going to take, you know what? Come to a forward fold. Halfway lift when you get here. Forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing. And we're going to go for a variation on tree pose today. So your right foot is going to come on top of your thigh. So you have to create some pressure here. Your ankle has to hug backwards and your thigh has to hug forwards. Otherwise, this foot's just going to slip. Note that my left leg is also definitely bent here. It's going to help create a little shelf for that ankle. Now, you might want your blocks for this, but on your exhale, we're going to fold at our hips and fold forwards until you can bring your fingers either to the ground or some blocks near you. The fun thing about this pose is that the next step for it, if you've got some space where you can get pretty low, is to bend this bottom knee more and more and potentially come to a toe stand here. Now, my fingers would be off of the floor for that. I don't have the balance for this. Or otherwise, you can turn this into an arm balance. Yep. Josh is going, absolutely not, Philomena. Don't call me out like that. He's like, I need a block is what I need. I know, that block is like 2 inches away from you. And he's like, no, we're going to balance this morning. All right, let's switch sides. So feet come down. Let's switch it out. Left foot. Let's go. Bend the bottom knee. You can start with the bent to help create this shelf for your opposite ankle. From here, fold at your hips. Hands come to either blocks of the floor. Now, I love this little variation, mainly because sometimes in equanimity, I get tired of standing up. And this little forward fold provides some relief. But really what we're looking for here is the outside hip stretch. It can just feel a little bit magical. A lot of feedback going on is okay. When you're ready, let's bring both feet to the ground. All right, we're going back to concourse. Take extended mountain at the top of your mat. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Let's take right side triangle. Right hand down, left hand straight up to the ceiling. Get curious about your pose. Press your toes down into the mat. And now hug your legs in. Almost like you want to scooch the mat together underneath of you. Like you're going to slide this front foot back towards yourself. Bring that sort of intensity to your legs so that when you inhale, rise to stand, you've got a nice space of support there. Take side facing, wide-legged forward fold. Let's go for ninja lunges today. So bend the right knee on an inhale, straightening out your left leg. Exhale, swap. Move with your breath from one side to the other. Getting nice and low in both sides. Even out your sides. We'll come right over to the front of your mat for half or full split variations. Actively draw your right hip backwards. I know the default here is to always lead with your right hip. And it's a difficult thing to correct. It's not something that's going to go away in your practice. You're not one day going to be like, oh yeah, splits. I'll never have to think about my hips again. It's something that'll constantly be there. Even as you gain mobility and flexibility, you'll have to keep thinking about drawing this right hip back. Let's take a final breath here where you're getting all of it out. And then move back through to downward facing dog. From down dog, left side, triangle. From triangle, think about supporting this pose with your low belly. And occasionally, what I do here is I just suck my low belly up and in, and I go, yes, I'm supporting here. For sure, that's exactly how this works. But actually think about your low back. Think about pulling your belly in so that you're expanding your low back. It's going to change the way that your pelvis sits here. You're going to have to tuck your tailbone under you a little bit more to really make this happen. Because when you're creating space in your low back, you've actually engaged your abdominals, and now you're even using the back side of your body to create the foundation of this pose. And what you realize is on your next inhale, rise up to standing. That's a little bit easier than usual. Let's take side facing, wide-legged, forward fold. Any variation that you want here. Preferably, let's focus on something with a little extra hip stretch today. You know what? There's an easy way to do that. Bring your feet out 1 more inch further than what you usually do. I have a default version of this pose now where I'm like, yes, my feet are exactly, no idea how far, but X number of inches away from each other. And that's where I go every single time. Try playing with the width of this pose. Bringing your feet closer together will actually do a different thing than bringing them farther apart. So there's a new edge to explore. Every time you think that you know the pose, one day you end up in it and your body goes, I don't think we've ever done this. Explore something new about side-facing wide-legged forward fold, something that you've never discovered before. That's it. Front splits. Half split, full split, however you want to get there. Left side. Blocks are always appropriate supports to have in this pose. Half splits are the reason why I became the block queen during the pandemic. I practiced with like 6 of them so that I could create this little block fort beside myself for a lot of extra support in this pose. Front foot flexed. This is the moment. Add that sprinkle of intention to this pose right here as you bring it to the edge. As far as you can go. This is your last breath, so as deep as you can go because you know we're about to get out of it. All right, down dog. From downward facing dog, exhale and roll out to your high plank. From high plank, take your feet out wide off of the mat. So the trick here is going to be keeping your hips level and not letting one side drop. We're going for some shoulder taps. So right hand, left shoulder, left hand, right shoulder, back and forth, tapping for 10, 9, at your own pace, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down. That's it. Locust pose. You can stick that in the laundry basket right out front, Greg. Have a great morning. Press down, lift up, locust. There we go. You have this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Let it be easy. Take a breath in between. Let that breath go. Floor bow. Hands by your outer ankles. Ready, set, floor bow. Count out 6 breaths for yourself here. Creating a slow, controlled breath that's going to help you build this pose. On each exhale, see if you can create a little more space to lift up, expanding through your chest, letting your shoulder blades draw back, and together you have this. On that 6th breath, we're going to come all the way back down to the mat. Let's take upward facing dog when you get there. Deep breath in for up dog. Into bridge pose. Bring your knees onto the mat and you can scooch forwards all the way into bridge. Press down, hips up, bridge, round 1. Letting your shoulders hug together underneath of you. Let's bring our right knee up into our chest for this one. On your exhales, you're going to bring your hips down to the floor, and on your inhale, bring them back up. We're just going to go back and forth for 10, 9. Working with your breath, inhale up, exhale down, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. Right foot down, left foot up. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5, 1, half, and back down. All right, hips down. Let's shake our legs right to left. I'd like to say, considering how my rights and lefts have gone this morning, I feel very proud of myself for being able to count down by half marks. Let's take Supta Baddha Konasana. And into happy baby. Hands by the outer edges of your feet. Rock right to left. Hug your knees into your chest. Yep, so knees hug into your chest this time. We're going to rock forwards to backwards 3 times, all the way up and all the way back. Let's come to a seated position. We're going to take a variation on half pigeon today. So bring your blocks with you for this one. I'm going to come close enough so that David and Minnie at home can see. But bring your block right above your left knee. So it's going to be sitting beside your thigh. And you might need to adjust this pose depending on where your foot's going to go. So you'll see what I mean in a moment. Now you're going to bend your right leg and sit the outside of this foot, the right foot, on top of your block. What you'll notice is immediately you might have some sensations similar to half pigeon hips. Now, what you want to check here is that you've got 2 sits bones on the mat. So if you've got butt muscles in the way, move those out of the way. And from here, if you have a little bit more space and want to add spice, you can lean forwards. So the further forwards you lean, the spicier this pose is going to get in your hip. Breathe. Anytime you're in a pose with a lot of feedback, your body's giving you a lot of sensation. Take a moment to appreciate the aliveness of that. Philomena's got an awesome adaptation here, which I forgot to add, which would be a strap around your foot. Thank you, my lovely assistant. Yes, see, we needed that too. Thanks, Philomena. We really needed the strap addition here. So you can wriggle that around your foot, and she's got one more thing that you can add. Either a block or a rolled up towel underneath of your knee is going to soften this pose a bit. By the way, yeah, there's one under his knee too. Oh, you need one. Let me grab one for you. Listen, it's not easier. It's just going to protect your knee. Other knee. So, yeah, they're like that. See, this is why I like having other teachers in the room too. Listen, Philomena, I love having you here. So, David, you didn't get that one at home, but when you add a block underneath of your knee, it's actually going to support the joint there. It helps bring a little bit of softness, but really what happens is that you have the capacity now to inhale and lift through your shoulders, creating a longer spine. And then if you've got the space, you can add a little bit of that fold. It's good things. I have no idea what you just said, but that's okay. You're awesome. I agree. No, this is my thing. When I have students with bumps, bruises, let's switch sides, left side. See, because I could chat with you guys all morning. Let's go left side. Build it. Blocks. Again, the block castle. You can have it too, right here this morning. But when I have students that come in with a bump or a bruise, and they need some help figuring that out for themselves, specifically if they've got like a bigger injury, Philomena is generally who I send them to. Sorry, Philomena. When I have a student who's got a bump, a bruise, an injury, or something like that, I'm like, oh, go to Philomena. She'll help. Because Philomena is who I go to when I've got a bump or a bruise and I can't figure out why my back is pinching in a pose. I go to Philomena. I'm like, what in the world is happening here? Lifting tall through your spine. Breathe. It's a good one. See, that's what I like about this particular practice, the journey into power. There are thousands of yoga poses and thousands of different ways to modify them. And the thing is, you get to plug and play in this sequence. It creates the structure. And then within that structure, you know you're going to get a journey into power out of it, but you can plug in different modifications and different poses and get new outcomes, but also reliable outcomes. It will work if you let it work, if you want it to work. Let's take a final breath here. We're going to sit all the way up. We're coming to one of my favorite poses that I learned in Empower with Philomena, actually, which is going to be cow face, which I called cowfish for the longest time. So your right foot, we're going to bring that under for the first time. You can angle this heel to be your left foot's going under. Angle for your heel to be near your right hip. From here, we're going to cross the opposite leg over. And really what you want to look for is your knees stacking one on top of the other. Now, to get there, you might have to support this pose with either a block underneath of you. You might find that your knees are pretty far away and you need a block under a knee. That's also good. But if you extend your feet up a little bit, what you get is this pose that supposedly looks like a longhorn steer. You can see it kind of in the legs and the way that it swoops out. In the way that it swoops out. And this is cow face. Now, the real reason I like this pose, take the heels of your hands, like your palms, and sink those down into your feet. You can choose to do this with the heel of your hands, with the knuckles of your hands. You can actually get yourself a nice little foot massage going here too. Just as you create some softness and some new space in this pose. Yeah, we're about to switch to the other side. Don't worry, we're getting there. Left side. You think we're never leaving, don't you? I'm holding you here forever, actually, Philomena. You're never leaving. Press down into these heels. See, I had a very sneaky way that we're getting there. Are you ready for it? Set, yogis. Take these knees, roll all the way onto your back. You're going to hug both of your knees into your chest. Let them rock to the left side of your body, eyes over your right shoulder. See, I told you there was like an emergency escape button out of this. Drop your knees over to the left, eyes to the right for supine twist. Drop your knees to the right this time. Eyes the opposite direction. Knees into your chest. Shavasana. Let your legs and arms go long with your eyes closed. Take a breath in and exhale. Let your body fully settle down. Bring movement back, starting with your fingers, ending at your toes. From here, hug your knees into your chest. Rock onto your right side with your forehead on the floor. Inhale, rise up to a seated position. Bring both hands up to the ceiling. Bring your hands down to heart center. We'll close class with one Om. Take your breath in. Bring your thumb knuckles up to forehead center. Together we bow our heads and we say, Namaste. Thanks, guys. Good to see you. I hope you have a wonderful day.